अंतरा स्टार्ट कर।
Good evening, everyone. My name is Antara Ghosh. I am pursuing my BSc in Forensic Science and from Parul University, and I will be your host today. We're delighted to have you all join us for our webinar series, Future Tech in Forensics, a dive into past. This webinar series is presented in collaboration with the Department of Forensic Science, Applied Sciences, Parul University, and Forensic Talents, India. Under the direction of 12 different top experts, we cover 12 different forensic science fields. This online webinar series focuses on the latest developments and future projections in the fields of forensic science. Serology plays a vital role in diagnosing diseases, tracking immunity, and monitoring outbreaks through antibody detection in blood samples. Nowadays, it has become more and more important due to an increased number of cases regarding human harm. And in order to understand it more vividly, today's seminar is being conducted. All participants will be getting an e-certificate after finishing each webinar. To get your certificate, fill the feedback form. Link of feedback form is shared in chat box after expert talks. If any participant have any queries related to the topic, feel free to ask your question in the chat box or on YouTube comment section. Expert will give the answers for your questions in the last 10 minutes. The topic of today's webinar is integration of serological sample analysis, current status and future implications by Ms. Shivangi Parmar. To invite and introduce Ma'am Shivangi Parmar, for this expert discussion, I would like to extend an invitation to Mr. Arun Kumar Kawat, CEO and founder of Forensic Talents India. So,
Good evening, all. I would like to invite today's speaker, Ms. Shivangi Parmar. She is Bachelor in Microbiology from the Maharaja Krishna Kumar Singh Ji, Bhavnagar University in 2020. She completed her MSc in Forensic Science from Parul University in 2022. Right now, she is pursuing PhD from the NIMS University, Jaipur, and also she is working as an assistant professor in Parul University. Her specialization is in forensic serology, forensic medicine, forensic microbiology, and DNA fingerprint and DNA profiling. Her dissertation is in forensic serology. Her topic is time of deposition of the semen sample for the sexual cases. Beyond this, she written a book chapter based on the functionalization of nanoparticles in international book in Springer Nature. She has published one paper in the same book also, in same field also. So today we can learn so many things from our extinguishing speaker. So hand over to you, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I've been very fortunate to letting me this opportunity, and I am thanking all of you for the giving me this opportunity to speak on this platform. Special thanks to Arun sir for giving this opportunity to me. I could give my knowledge to the students, and I will definitely give my best through this webinar. So, can I start my PPT, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So for today, my topic is the integration of serological sample analysis for the current situation and future aspects. First of all, I will introduce for this topic is the advancement in the serological sample analysis is a very revolution in the field of the diagnostic medicine. Medicine and serology, this both of the branch is very crucial and a very important branch in the forensic science. All over the body samples, all over the body fluid samples, and all over the biological samples is provide very vital role in the forensic investigations. So the advancement in the forensic serology sample is very useful in the forensic medicine also. Presentation aims to provide a comprehensive overview and discuss the forward perspective in this rapidly evolving area. Now in this time, mostly we can observe the sexual offense, sexual cases is increasing day by day. So for the solving these cases, we are very important to solve these cases. For that, we have to analyze the body fluid samples. Okay, so in the body fluid samples, we can include the blood, saliva, semen, urine. All of the biological sample is included into the forensic serological sample. On overview of the serological sample analysis, in the forensic investigation, exploring the latest technique and the technologies for the blood, saliva, and other bodily fluid analysis. So, understanding the importance of the accurate and the reliable serological analysis criminal investigation is a very important for the forensic investigation. What is the serological sample analysis? We can see in the slide the serological sample analysis involves the study of blood serum detect the presence of specific antibody and antigen. Okay, from the blood we can find the mainly antigen and antibody into the body. Okay, so from the blood sample we can find DNA also. We can find the antigen antibody blood grouping, which blood is present. Obviously everything we can detect from the blood samples. So serological blood sample is provide a very crucial role into the diagnosis. Okay, so serological sample analysis में antigen antibodies का study हम usually बहुत ज़्यादातर करते हैं. These techniques plays a crucial role in the diagnosis of the various infectious diseases and the autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune disorders और the infection disease के लिए भी हम blood ज़्यादातर use करते हैं. Okay. Beyond to the forensic science, we can also use blood for the very medical investigation. Okay, medical investigation in the sense any disease, infectious disease, for identification of that we can also use the blood samples or any serological samples. So next, evolution in this technique. Previously we are used only such techniques that are blood grouping technique, then normal blood grouping technique, then presumptive test. Usually we are using benzidine and this phosphoacid test, very test we are using for that as a presumptive test. But now in these days we are performing the ELISA test, western blot, immunofluorescence technique, sensitivity technique, all using with the various additional perspective. Okay, additional perspective in means the nanoparticle we are using for the detecting the blood samples. For the detection of blood samples we are using many type of nanoparticles also. For the detection of semen, for the detection of saliva, for the detection of urine, for everything we are using the many types of nanoparticles. Okay, so nanoparticles is now very useful particles that helps to solve the crimes in the crime scene. Evolution of the techniques, the evolution of the serological sample analysis techniques such as ELISA, Western blot, and the immunofluorescence has significantly enhanced the sensitivity and the specificity of the diagnostic assay, leading to the more accurate disease detection. Okay, normally we are using this technique, presumptive test is used for the detection of the blood, but now this ELISA, Western blot, and the immunofluorescence techniques that is also used for the diagnostic assay, like any type of disease you can identify by these techniques. Like ELISA, we will find the types of we can say the types of many of the evidences with the ELISA. Okay, तो DNA sequencing के लिए जो starting का part होता है ELISA, Western blot, वेस्टर्न ब्लड टेक्निक, साउदर्न ब्लड टेक्निक, इम्यूनोफ्लोरेसेंस टेक्निक से हम स्टार्ट करते हैं. दिस इज वेरी सेंसिटिव टेक्निक्स फॉर द biological fluids. Okay, so we can use these techniques also for that. But nowadays we are using the nanoparticles for the biological sample analysis. Stain pattern analysis and blood stain pattern analysis is very useful for the identification of the crime scene. Okay, so exploring the role of blood stain patterns analysis in the forensic investigation, understanding how to distribute the shape of blood stains can provide a crucial insight into the dynamic of the crime scene, highlighting the significance of accurate blood stain interpretation. Now, whenever you go to the crime scene, first of all, at any the crime scene, you can see the blood pool, your blood splatter, your blood pattern analysis. For from that pattern analysis, you can find out the actual pattern, and you can find the actual harm or actual step to this particular cases. Okay, so for the pattern analysis is such a very crucial part in the forensic investigation. So we can study the blood stain also. Blood stain is a very crucial part of the forensic investigation. Now, automation and the robotics are also now in the future. Robotics and the automation is uh, give a very part on into the forensic investigation. The integration of the automation and the robotics in the serological sample analysis has a streamlined processes. Okay, so nowadays automation like robotics, some type of robot they made, scientists made some types of robotics. They already we are not any responsible for anything. Only robot will do this such a investigation and give you the result. So the automation and robotics also help to solve the crime scene. In the future perspective, I can see that in the future you can also see the robotics will give the immense insight into these particular investigations, and it will give the very accurate and clear result about the forensic sample analysis. Okay, तो nowadays automation और रोबोटिक्स के ऊपर जितने भी काम हो रहे हैं वो एक्चुअल में बहुत ही ज्यादातर हम कह सकते हैं कि इम्पोर्टेंट काम हो रहे हैं, जिसकी जिसकी इन द फ्यूचर हो सकता है कि शायद उन लोगों को ह्यूमन की जरूरत ना भी पड़े. ओनली रोबोटिक्स और ऑटोमेशन की हेल्प से ही पूरा क्राइम सीन सोल्व हो सकता है, सैंपल इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो सकता है. ओके, तो नाउ these days मतलब now from the past we cannot see the robots and automation is also part of the investigation, but now you can see the automation and robotics is also part of this forensic investigation. Okay. Quality assurance protocol is also very important role into the forensic investigation. So the quality assurance means that you are searching for something and you can solve this crime particularly, but you have to give the clarifications or the assurance that your test is actually positive. How much that is positive and how much that is clear for that result, you have to give this result to the forensic laboratory. Now, nowadays, the government laboratories and the private laboratories are required the many crucial and assurance for the investigation. So, for that, government laboratory have not such a specific thing to search that specific investigation of that specific sample. So they will transfer the samples to the private laboratories also. Okay, so private laboratory is also very good part of the investigation, and they will give a very crucial and the perfect result of the forensic science samples. Okay, so the nowadays forensic science is increasing their role day by day, because day by day cases is increasing, and the our role is also increasing in the field of forensic science. You can see the very difficult cases into the web series like Netflix, Zoo, Amazon Prime, and etc. platform. You can see the very of the cases. You can observe that the all the things we are they are searching for the evidences, and they are transfer the sample to the private laboratories also. Okay, so private laboratory will give the accurate result of that particular samples, highlighting the importance of the quality assurance protocol in forensic serological analysis. क्वालिटी अश्योरेंस प्रोटोकॉल्स जो है वो फॉरेंसिक साइंस फील्ड में एकदम क्रुशियल रोल प्रोवाइड करता है और वो हाईलाइट करता है तुम्हारे रिजल्ट्स। ओके, डिस्कसिंग द रोल ऑफ एक्रीडिशन proficiency testing in the validation study in the ensuring that the accuracy and the reliability of the serological analysis result, कितना तुम्हारा रिजल्ट जो आया है वो रियलेबल है, कितना एक्यूरेसी है उसकी, 100%, 90%, 80%, 70%, डिपेंड्स ऑन द इन्वेस्टिगेशन, डिपेंड्स ऑन द रिजल्ट। सच केसेस ऐसे होते हैं जो बहुत सारे, जो हम क्लियरली उसका रिजल्ट नहीं दे पाते बिकॉज हम लोगों को सैंपल इतना प्रॉपर मिला नहीं होता है, तो उसकी वजह से हम उसका अश्योरेंस जो है होता है वो थोड़ा एज कम्पेयर टू स्पेसिफिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन में हम कम दे सकते कि 90% रिजल्ट, 80% result. Okay, so the serological analysis result emphasizing the significance and adherence to international standard. Okay, so these standards we will increasing day by day into the international also. Emerging technologies like I told earlier that the nanotechnology is providing very crucial role into the forensic investigation, such in the biological and toxicology. Okay, so nanomaterial we are providing to the forensic, in the future we can provide nanoparticles to forensic scientists also, so that they can also solve these cases by the nanoparticles. Nanoparticle give the accurate results as a research saying that, but we are not now using nanoparticles in the such a way, but in the future I can say that the nanoparticle will play the very crucial role into the forensic investigation, especially in the forensic serological investigation. Emerging technologies such as a microfluid, nanotechnology, and the machine learning are poised to further the enhance the serological sample analysis, offering the unprecedented level of the precious and the speed in the disease diagnosis. Okay. I can say that before the test we are using for the blood analysis or the any serological sample analysis, it's a little bit of time taking process. Okay, so time taking process will give the time to will take the time to give the result to specific laboratory or specific court of law. So scientists are now researching into the nanomaterial or nanoparticles or nanotechnology, that the nanotechnological will give you the accurate result in the very less time and in a very short time, and result will be very accurate for the specific sample. Okay, so microfluids will also play the immense insight into the forensic science investigation. So we have to study these nanomaterial things and the microfluidics into the investigation. And the other thing, machine learning are poised to further enhance serological sample analysis. Machine learning, okay. Machine learning, we can say the QD sample analysis and the fingerprint sample analysis, we are using the VSC, okay. So VSC is a machine learning process. Machine will provide a very specific result to particular sample, that will give you the possible result and also give you the many information included into the this particular paper sample or in the fingerprint sample. Okay, everyone maybe know about the VSC. VSC is a video spectral analysis, okay, comparator. So in this machine we can find out we can see the fingerprints from the different samples. Okay, and also we can study the handwriting analysis very well. So in the handwriting we can measurement all the things, the slant and the pen pressure and other things we can we can study by that particular VSC machine. So VSC is a nowadays very important, provide a very important role into the forensic physics analysis. Okay, so machine learning is also will come into the future. So we can start our, we can do our study into the machine. So machine will provide all your results, and you can give that results to the further forensic laboratory. Okay, or a court of law. Challenges and opportunity we can say that nowadays so many challenges we are facing for the particular sample analysis. Sometime happening that some of the sample are very very hard to define particular things. Okay, so at that time you are lead to pursue that specific data analysis with the very you can say the very instrumental thing or etc. Okay, so for that we are facing lots of challenges into the investigation. So overcome this challenge, we are scientists, and we are also planning to study very important and very easy techniques for that we can use into the forensic science. Okay, so nowadays many researchers and many scientists are doing this work on specific challenges, and I can say or I can see that will definitely it will cure by the time, and in the future we can give the very very simple techniques or to the society for the forensic investigation. And the forensic investigation in the future it will be very uh, important. It will be a very important thing. Okay, because uh, you can see the time changes day by day, and the cases and everything is increasing day by day. So for that we have to examine and we have to solve crimes also day by day. So forensic as a forensic expert we can also say that our role is main very crucial into the society for the changing such this thing. Okay, in the society, the challenges and opportunities. Despite the remarkable process, challenges such as a cross reactivity and the assay standardization persist. Okay, okay, if I say that I put the sample into the uh, ELISA. Okay, so I put the my sample into the ELISA, but possible that some sample will also react with that my sample, and that result will be misguised. Okay, because of the activity perform into the this ELISA specific ELISA technique. So this cross reactivity and the assay standardization we cannot say definitely, because nowadays we assay standardization is into this particular thing. The work is already going on. So standardization process is also part of the very important into the forensic investigation. Addressing these challenges present opportunities for the innovation and the development of the more robust serological analysis method. Okay. Uh, Robust serological analysis method means your if your challenges, if your development technique is give you the particular result, but serological analysis method it will robust it and it will give the clearance about that particular your samples. Okay, so this is the challenges and opportunities into the forensic investigation. Now we can most important part is the clinical applications. What is the clinical applications? The clinical applications of the serological sample analysis extend beyond the infectious disease to include the diagnosis of cancer, allergies, and the autoimmune conditions. Okay. uh, Study of the forensic investigation is day by day, but for this study or from this study you can also solve the very very different cases or very very different function of their particular this thing also. Okay, so now I am researching about the specific forensic field. Okay, but this specific instrument or this specific chemical or this specific method will also has to the medical also. Okay, in the medicine also. So in the medicine we can use this all everything is used to diagnose the cancer, allergies, autoimmune conditions. Okay, so you can see because of this environment and because of this nature you can see that the everything is changed day by day, and the chances to create a very diagnostic effect into the world is very easy to infect to the human because of your food and because of your environmental conditions. So for that analysis we can also work into these facilities also. Okay, or you can help to forensic field also this thing, but the proper thing you are searching for or you are making for this condition is give you the future perspective. Okay, the clinical application of the serological sample analysis extend beyond infection disease. Okay, as I said that it will also help to diagnose the cancer and allergies and other autoimmune conditions. Autoimmune conditions means any infectious disease like fever and cold and etc., pneumonia, typhoid. Autoimmune conditions we can also diagnose from the specific research techniques. Okay, so this is the clinical applications of these particular future aspects of the forensic investigation in the serological sample. Okay, point of care testing. Okay, what is point of care testing? This is a new thing. Is anyone know about this thing? Point of care testing.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so point of care testing means these tests will mainly work on that particular field. Okay, the advent of the point of care testing device is a broad serological sample analysis to the bedside. Okay, okay. Now I am studying something for the society. I will think good about that, but my test will provide the bed roll also. Matlab, can provide bed roll also. Okay, so for that, enabling rapid and the accurate diagnosis in diverse setting from the clinic to remote areas with the limited access to the laboratory facilities. Okay, now I am finding, for an example, I am finding some chemical. Okay, new chemical that is help to diagnose the blood test. Okay, so I made that particular sample for the investigation of blood at the crime scene. Okay, but this chemical test I don't know, but that test will also give the some other test positive also. Okay, so the blood it will give blood positive, but some other cases it also will help to diagnose this particular thing. But the side effect of this particular thing is will present over there. So these clinical remote areas will limited to access the laboratory facilities. Okay, अभी मैंने कोई केमिकल बनाया, मैं क्राइम सीन पे लेके जाऊंगी और वो क्राइम सीन पे मैंने काम किया उसको, बट उसके साइड इफेक्ट्स भी हो सकते हैं। लाइक कोई ऐसा पर्टिकुलर, जैसे कि वो मैंने टेस्ट की और उसमें जो ब्लड स्टेन मेरे को ऑब्जर्व करना था प्रिजर्वेटिव टेस्ट के लिए, तो मेरे को ब्लड स्टेन ऑब्जर्व हो गया, बट वो ब्लड स्टेन के बाद मेरे को उसमें से डीएनए फाइंड आउट करना, वो ब्लड में से, तो वो डीएनए शायद फाइंड आउट ना हो सके, बिकॉज मेरा केमिकल ऐसा कार्सिनोजेनिक या एक्सवाइजेड जो बन गया है, तो वो सैंपल के डीएनए पे इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं। तो सैंपल का डीएनए है वो क्या होगा, डीएनए इम्बेलेंस हो जाएगा, और पूरा उसकी वजह से मेरा जो सैंपल होगा पर्टिकुलर, जो मैं ब्लड सैंपल कलेक्ट कर रही हूँ और पर्टिकुलर क्राइम सीन से, वो एक्चुअली में मैं फर्दर यूज नहीं कर सकती फॉर द एनी ऑफ द इन्वेस्टिगेशन. So for that I have to do proper investigation, or for that I have to do proper chemical formation for the particular investigation. Okay, so this is a point of care study, or our point of care has to be very clear and very narrow into this particular this sample analysis. Okay, okay. So regulatory landscape, you can see that regulatory landscape is the regulatory landscape governing the serological sample analysis is involving to ensure the quality and the reliability of the diagnostic test. Okay, so compliance with the FDA and the CE regulation is essential for the market approval to patient. Okay, FDA and CE is approval authority of the Indian government. Okay, it will give you the authority to apply your chemicals and other things into the society with a specific terms and conditions. The regulatory landscape governing serological sample analysis is involving the quality and reliability of the particular sample. Okay, अगर मैंने कोई केमिकल, फॉर एन एग्जांपल मैंने कोई केमिकल सॉल्यूशन बनाया है, अब ये केमिकल सॉल्यूशन की रिलायबिलिटी कितनी है? ओके, लाइक मैंने सीमेन आइडेंटिफिकेशन के लिए टेस्ट डेवलप की है, तो मेरा सीमेन आइडेंटिफिकेशन है वो मैंने टेस्ट डेवलप किया, लेकिन वो मेरे सैंपल की है, वो टेस्ट पॉजिटिव आई, लेकिन मैंने 3-4 जगह पे वही टेस्ट परफॉर्म किया, तो पॉसिबल है कि वो टेस्ट में शायद कुछ चेंजेस आ जाए और दूसरे सैंपल को वो टेस्ट पॉजिटिव ना दे। तो मेरे टेबल मतलब मेरे केमिकल की रिलायबिलिटी कितनी है वो क्लियरली मैं बता सकती नहीं। तो ये रिलायबिलिटी टेस्ट एंड क्वालिटी, ओके, quality of the sample should be very good into the investigation, okay, should be very good मतलब क्या होता है कि it should be very particular and very perfect to solve the particular crime scene, okay. So I am using, for an example, I am using that specific benzodine test. So benzodine solution should be very clear and should be very clean or should be very specified for the blood identification, okay. So I can say that the benzodine test is also semen is also give the benzodine test positive. I can say, but what your quality and what your reliability is depends on that investigation. Okay, so this quality and reliability is a very 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 diagnostic test, and that is very important for the solving the crime scene. Okay, uh, into the forensic serological sample analysis, that is very quality reliability of the diagnostic test compliance with the FDA and CE regulation, okay. तो ये दोनों जो कंपनी ऑथोराइज होता है वहां पे उन लोगों ने दिया है परमिशन अगर तुम लोगों को यूज करने की, गवर्नमेंट अप्रूवल के थ्रू तुम जो केमिकल यूज कर रहे हो, अगर वो सैंपल पर्टिकुलर टेस्ट दे रहा है पॉजिटिव, then and then you can use that particular sample for your investigation, okay. So for your investigation you should use a very 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 particular sample. Next, future prospects. What is the future prospect of this particular sample analysis? Okay, so I already said before that the forensic investigation in the future it will part the very 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 crucial role into the forensic investigation. Future prospect, the future of the serological sample analysis hold the promise for the personalized medicine, early disease detection, and the targeted therapy. Okay, so this test will also provide the clearance to the medicine, early disease detection, and the targeted therapy. Okay. Collaborative efforts across the discipline will drive innovation and the shape of the future diagnostic healthcare. Okay. Into the healthcare, you can also use your sample uh, very 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 goodly into the forensic medical analysis, okay. So into the future perspective we can see that the many of the samples are required for the investigation, so we can use our chemical into the this particular detection and the targeted therapy also. Nowadays for the solving the cancer, well, detecting the cancer, and for the cancer medicine we are also using the nanoparticles, okay. So for the cancer, nanoparticle is a very very is a giving the very 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 important role into the solving this particular disease, and for recover this disease also, okay. So healthcare के लिए future prospect as a forensic serological sample is very 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 important. Research frontlines अगर हम देखने के लिए जाए तो nowadays I said that the multiplex assay, next generation sequencing and biomarkers discoveries are going very goodly, because nowadays the challenges is increasing day by day. Ongoing research for ongoing research is basically based on the serological sample, serological DNA profiling, DNA sequencing, biomarker analysis, next generation sequencing, and these all the study will help to provide the very particular thing about the DNA testing. Okay, so in the future in the DNA testing we can use these biomarkers, biodiversity markers, multiplex assay, and the next generation sequencing for the DNA analysis. Okay, so in the next generation sequencing, you can store the DNA for particular sample, and you can use this DNA in the next generation to solving the particular, so to matching this particular DNA. In it will be matched, then you can give the particularity of that particular sample. So the research frontal is a very good into the forensic investigation. Okay. Do you know about the multiplex assay? Multiplex assays.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so multiplex assays is a very good into the forensic investigation and the on the DNA sequencing also. So we can take the 3 to 5 DNAs, okay, and we can join the three of them with each other, and we can prepare or we can give the new sequencing of the DNA. Okay, so we can give the new sequencing of the DNA. That is a multiplex assay. Okay, for that we can study the future prospective sample analysis through these multiplex assays. Next, ethical consideration is a very important. Okay, now I made a sample and I am using this sample to the proper with the proper guideline. Okay, but if I use the sample without any permission, so it will be ethically not approved. Okay, so whenever I used to examine with any serological samples or any of the body fluid, I have to take ethical permission. Okay, nowadays you can जो भी लास्ट सेमेस्टर में भी परफॉर्म कर रहे होगे डेजर्टेशन वाले स्टूडेंट्स, they know that for the using of any body fluids or any your body parts, you have to take the ethical permission. Okay, if you are using the chicken blood or your human blood or any other type of blood, uh, if you are using for your dissertation or for your research work, you have to take the ethical consideration. Okay, so ethical consideration into this particular research or particular study is a very important into the investigation. Okay, examining the ethical consideration in the forensic serological analysis, discussing the issue such as an informed consent, privacy, and the heading of the generating information. Okay, so exploring the ethical responsibility of the forensic scientists and law enforcement agencies in the serological analysis. जैसे मैंने बोला आप लोगों को कंसेंट लेना है, जैसे कि मैं कोई रिसर्च वर्क कर रही हूँ तो रिसर्च वर्क के लिए मेरे को किसी का ब्लड चाहिए, तो मेरे को सामने वाले का कंसेंट होना जरूरी है कि मैंने उसकी कंसेंट से वो फॉर्म कंसेंट से उसका सैंपल जो है मेरी स्टडी के लिए यूज किया है। फॉर ये कंसेंट लेके मैंने उसका सैंपल यूज किया है, तो मेरे को उसको वो भी प्रॉमिस करना पड़ता है कि ये जो पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन जो भी रहेगा कि तुम्हारा सैंपल लेके मैंने यूज किया है, तो इट विल बी वेरी प्राइवेट. ओके, सो प्राइवेसी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन टू द रिसर्च एंड द हैंडलिंग ऑफ द जेनेटिक इंफॉर्मेशन. ओके, मेरा ब्लड और या तो मेरा बॉडी फ्लूइड का कोई यूज कर रहा है, मेरा डीएनए का कोई यूज कर रहा है, मेरे हेयर सैंपल का कोई यूज कर रहा है, तो मेरे में कि मतलब मेरी जितने भी ये जेनेटिक इंफॉर्मेशन है वो विदाउट माय कंसेंट और विदाउट माय इंफॉर्मेशन वो कहीं पर भी पब्लिश नहीं कर सकते. ओके, नाउ मैंने सैंपल दिया है बॉडी का उसके स्टडी के लिए, बट विदाउट माय कंसिडरेशन, विदाउट माय कंसेंट, दे कैन नॉट गिव एनी ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन टू द सोसाइटी. ओके, so ethical responsibilities of the forensic scientist and law enforcement agency in the serological analysis is a very important for the ethical consideration. Okay, now this study serological study is giving the very good study about the everything, and you can observe that particular sample analysis with the very informative sessions. Okay, now one thing I want to tell to everyone that nowadays biological sample analysis is study biological serological sample analysis study is going very goodly. Okay, how that I can say that many of my students only, they are also working very interested to work into the forensic serology. Okay, because lots of information are in particular information are now not studied yet. Okay, so बहुत सारी information है जो अभी तक कोई ने study किया ही नहीं, कोई study कर ही नहीं पाया है. तो बहुत सारी ऐसी information जो है वो now a student or researcher are going to study that particular thing. Okay, so one of my student have made the one chemical solution. I cannot publish it now, but she made the particular chemical that give the blood test positive. And this blood मतलब this chemical अभी तक यूज नहीं हुआ है कभी भी. और विदाउट, हमने ऐसा नहीं कि एक सैंपल से ट्राई किया है, लेकिन वी यूज्ड वेरी 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 डिफरेंट सैंपल्स. एंड अगर डिफरेंट सैंपल लेके भी वो टेस्ट पॉजिटिव दे रहे हैं, मतलब ये केमिकल, और दैट केमिकल इज वेरी 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 इजी टू गेट फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग एवरीवेयर. सो this type of studies also now students are doing. Okay, so ऐसा हो सकता है कि फ्यूचर में जो प्रिजम्पटिव टेस्ट होता है वो इतना डिफिकल्ट जो पहले हो रहा था वो शायद ऐसा ना हो, और न्यू न्यू केमिकल हम डेवलप करके न्यू न्यू स्टडी प्रिजम्पटिव टेस्ट के लिए यूज कर सकते हो वो स्टडीज. ओके, now, I am concluding my session. In the conclusion, the advancement in the serological sample analysis have transformed the landscape of the diagnostic medicine, offering new horizon for the disease detection and the management. Especially in the forensic investigation, we can use this serological sample analysis is going to very good into the detection and the analysis. Okay, as we look ahead, the integration of the novel technologies and the collaborative research effort will continue to drive the innovation in the field of critical field into the field of forensic science. So, in the future, we can expect that the study will be work very good into the society, and it will be help to our analysis also, and it will help to forensic investigation also. Okay, so now any questions from your side, sir?
Yes, ma'am. There are some questions.
Yeah.
The first is what kind of microfluid are being used?
Sir, like antigen and antibody we can use for the investigations. So from the DNA sequencing analysis, we can study of about the particular antigen and antibodies also. So in the as a microfluid, we can tell that the antigen and antibody will play the very crucial part in the forensic investigation.
Okay. There is one more question. How has the advancement of technology impact forensic serology practice over the years?
So nowadays we can see that many of the instrument we are not using for the particular sample analysis, but now study is going on and the research is going on, so we can use the many devices or many machines we can use for the, and we can implementation into the serological sample analysis.
Okay. Next question is what is biomarker discovery?
So biomarker discovery means particular antigen antibody theory or particular gene discussion. Gene will provide a very crucial role and give the specific information to the specific study analysis.
Okay. One more question. What are the challenges and limitations associated with using seriological techniques in forensic analysis?
So can you please repeat?
Yeah. What are the challenges and limitations associated with using seriological techniques in forensic analysis?
Okay, in the forensic analysis, we can facing many more challenges. Like जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया कि ऐसी कोई टेस्ट मैं परफॉर्म कर रही हूँ जो मेरी ब्लड टेस्ट को पॉजिटिव दे रहा है, लेकिन वो ब्लड टेस्ट पॉजिटिव देने के बाद शायद ऐसा हो सकता है कि इसका डीएनए को वो एनहांस कर दे, तो मैं डीएनए सीक्वेंसिंग उससे नहीं कर सकती. तो दिस चैलेंजिंग वी आर फेसिंग इन दिस टाइम, but research is going on, and definitely we will solve this thing also. So we can test this particular machinery and particular chemicals. We can detect the blood and the DNA also.
Okay, ma'am. The last question is what is touch DNA?
Sorry?
What is touch DNA?
Touch DNA. Touch DNA means we can solve this from the fingerprint. Okay. Fingerprint, if I am touching somewhere and my fingerprint will develop over there, from the fingerprint I can say that the protein is present over there. Okay, fingerprint transfer हो रहा है तो protein मेरा present होगा. From the protein I can discover the DNA from that particular sample.
Okay. So thank you very much, ma'am. I think all participants enjoy your session and it's very informative sessions. If any participant have any question, you can feel free to ask via our mail ID or you can see our details. You can follow us on our social media and other things. So thank you very much, ma'am. So our next session is on 9th March 2024. You can participant get that link of the Zoom via mail. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I could share. I can. I should. I shared my information to my students, and I believe that they enjoy the session. And I will try to give the more information about this particular thing into the future, my future webinar or my future series also. Thank you so
Thank
much, sir. I'm very thankful to you also.
Thank you very much, ma'am.